listening to
A to the K.
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 A to the K. WrestleTalk podcast.
Check it out. Change your life. You'll be thanking me later.
But as Carl rightly said, it's time for This Week in Wrestling.
Ooh,
So would you like to kick us off, Carl, with the Raw results?
I would. So the card this week for Raw, we had Miz TV kicking off the show with special guests The New Day. We had Elias taking on Jeff Hardy and Matt Riddle. Oh no, sorry, can't use that name. Sorry, Riddle. With Riddle picking up the win.
Riddle.
We had Riddle. We had Lana taking on Shayna Baszler for some fucking reason. Who do you think won that? Shayna Baszler, of course.
Of course.
We had Riddle again in action with Keith Lee in tag team
Why the
action,
fuck not?
taking on Braun Strowman and Sheamus, with AJ Styles as the special guest referee, with Riddle and Keith Lee winning the match. We had the US title on the line. Bobby Lashley took on Titus O'Neil from a feud that happened out of nowhere from about 4 weeks ago that they never addressed.
Clearly, Titus O'Neil's going to win that.
We had Nia Jax taking on Asuka. We had a 7-man 24/7 title match. And after many, many championship changes, R-Truth is a champ again for the 87,000th time. We had Mustafa Ali, just Ali, who knows, taking on Ricochet. And the main event of the evening was RK Awesome taking on Drew Day. See what I did there? See what I did there? Basically, Miz, Morrison, and Orton taking on Drew McIntyre and the New Day. With the Drew Day picking up the win. Drew Day rocks. Anyway, so highlights, Anthony, of the week.
Oh.
And there's not many, to be honest, but it's Raw, so you expect nothing less. So AJ Styles calls a team meeting, and he says they've now found the missing piece in Matt Riddle. That's right, he fucked it up, just like I did a minute ago. He fucked it right up. So Vince is probably fuming. But yeah, so I thought that was hilarious. And then Keith Lee comes out going, Mr. AJ, only AJ, as in, like, I'm going to take the piss out of you for saying Matt Riddle. I'm going to say you're just AJ, only AJ. Get it? Because he lols. But yeah, the whole thing was a clusterfuck, but at the same time, I thought it was quite funny. So Braun Strowman chimes in. He's like, you know what, Sheamus, you better watch yourself, otherwise you're going to get these hands. And Sheamus is like, yeah, these hands, you're all mouth, aren't you? Why don't you bring them fists? Like, you can't write it.
Love that, I actually really love that. I would love to see that feud just on the back of that. You go.
Fuck these hands, bring them fists. That is the feud.
Hands versus fists for WrestleMania.
And I realise, as I'm describing this, it sounds shit. And it was, and yet it still makes my highlights because it was just fucking so shit it was good. And sometimes that's fine.
Yeah, it's one of the, I have to watch.
And I mentioned this last week, but I still want to see it so fucking bad. So, Sheamus and Drew McIntyre, they keep having these little conversations, these little things around how they're both from the
catching
UK
each other's eyes across the room.
Exactly. It's like, you can feel the sexual energy. Maybe just the energy. I don't know. But you can feel something. And do you know what? I want to see it on OnlyFans with Zelina Vega. But no, I think I've mentioned this in the past. I think that they're fantastic. I'm a big fan of, like, stylistic matchups, and I can't not laugh because you're just there waiting. So.
Sorry, you got me. Go
on. I'm a big fan of stylistic matchups, and I think Sheamus and Drew are two guys that, like, Sheamus gets some shit, man. He gets a lot of shit of, right, this guy is just like, oh, it's fucking Sheamus again. But
do you know what, this one,
he's good. And
again, I think he's just been a victim of booking. Like, he's got the chops. He's even got a long tenure in there now. But when he first hit the main scene, Triple H was really big on him. They pushed him to the moon. They pushed him right to the title scene. That wasn't the right move. Then it's like, well, he's a big guy, but we don't really know what to do with him. So let's keep him mid card and just have him squashing people randomly.
Well,
and
exactly.
They put him in just stupid feud. Like, the booking's never been. I'm not saying they've all been bad, but the booking's never been particularly great for Sheamus, and it's not his fault. He is talented.
Yeah, no, definitely. So for me, I thought, I'm. It's definitely building to something for me. It's going to build to Sheamus and Drew, and I am on board for that. Inject it into my veins. I want to see it. Make it happen. What I don't want to see, surprisingly, considering how much I like the pair of them, is Ali and Ricochet. And it was solid. It makes the highlights. Don't get me wrong. And it was easily the best match of the night. So again, why am I shitting on this?
What I really need to know is, are Retribution here to destroy WWE or just Ricochet?
I don't know why Retribution are here, if I'm honest, at this point. Honestly, we've made no mention of Mia Yim's or Reckonings. Sorry, I don't want to sound like the referee on the night. The weird fit that she had a couple of fucking weeks ago. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know why they're even here. But yeah that being said, the match
destroy the mid card.
The match was clearly the best of the night. The finish was good. It kept Ricochet looking strong, and yeah, I don't know. Obviously, they're leaning towards Ricochet maybe joining the fucking Retribution thing, but yeah, hopefully not.
And he doesn't even need to change his name. It kind of gels well with it, doesn't it?
Reckoning, Ricochet,
Slapjack, Ricochet, T-Bone.
I mean, that's a fantastic one. And then lastly, the main event. I didn't really mind it. I liked that Randy Orton didn't wrestle, and he kind of just left the match and just let it happen, and kind of was a big coward. I quite like that, to be fair. So that was good. As for the O'Shites, I'm going to gloss over these just because of time. But
gloss away, man.
Opening segments: Miz Morrison booking a 3-on-3 match. Orton was fuming. Comes out. He's like, you know what, Miz, you should fight me like a man. The only thing that you've got is the briefcase, and that means nothing. Blah blah blah. New Day come out and we're like, well, we want to watch up close this match. And then Miz and Morrison are there like, well, we're going to side with Randy Orton, actually. And then they all beat down New Day. McIntyre comes out, and then Miz and Morrison take him out. RKO. Blah. So, yeah, just shit segment.
Because
why? We had Elias against Jeff versus Riddle. Is this the best of the roster? Is this the best we can offer up to the team? None of them are exactly flying right now. Elias would have been my choice, if I'm honest, but that didn't happen. Riddle, he's lost pretty much every match he's had on Raw thus far, and yet he still ends up winning this one, and now he's in the team. Bro. So fine, okay. Gulak shows up. He wants to join the hair business. He's dressed all stylish, little pimping Drew Gulak going on, and then they go, nah, beat him up. And then R-Truth wins the belt. Okay. So Lana. So during this match, Dana and Mandy Rose are on commentary, and after the loss, Dana has the audacity to say, "Come on, Lana, what are we going to do with her?" And it's like, who the fuck are you? Are you messing? Dana Brooke, okay. And then
that's seasoned veteran Dana Brooke.
Then seasoned veteran Dana Brooke goes on and fucks up her post-match interview, fucking up her own line by saying, we saved your butts, Lana. So okay, cool, Dana. Yeah, exactly. Makes ton of sense. So that happened.
That was a thing.
That was a thing. But yeah, so anyway, the whole point, Lana is all alone, hasn't got any friends, blah 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 blah. So that is
just the way WWE wanted to book her.
Pretty much. And then I'm going to throw this out there. I would love to know your thoughts. The Raw Men's Survivor Series team is basically Retribution 2.0. So AJ is Ali, Sheamus is T-Bar, Strowman is Mace, Riddle is Slapjack, and Lee is Reckoning, which is pretty shocking because he's banging Reckoning at the moment. So work that one out. But
had a Reckoning all
literally, they are like for like at this point, and you look at it and you're just like, well, why the fuck would you care about the Raw team? Because they're basically fucking Retribution.
A very interesting booking point of view if Reckoning had made a point of becoming the Survivor Series team in an effort to ruin WWE. Wouldn't that have been an interesting turn of events?
Too interesting, Anthony, for television. People won't get it. They don't tune in. We have to explain everything every week anyway.
Yeah. Every week we have to remind them who Reckoning is.
Too ambitious. But yeah, so I don't know. I just thought it was basically a repeat of last week, the match, except this time we had Riddle in the mix. Ooh. So yeah, seen it, done it, whatevs. Yep. Lashley and Titus was just shite. It was pointless, and I think as I was saying, you were like, that made sense. Exactly, like just didn't make any sense.
Just because we know that it's going to be O'Neal versus Sami Zayn at Survivor Series, obviously.
So speaking of pointless, Nia took on Asuka, and who cares? Another DQ finish, Anthony, because they can't make anyone look strong ever. And then after the fact, Team Raw implodes, Anthony. And guess what? Nia injures someone else. She fucks up Mandy Rose. She's fucked her up, bad style. She gets there and throws her out the ring, and she's legit fucked. So I don't know what they're going to do.
I didn't know if that was a work or not, because I saw the footage of her falling out.
No, she's fucked. She basically gets her and throws her out the ring, but it was too fast, and she didn't settle herself, and her arm went under her, so I think she's got
I'll give Nia a due, though. Some of the blame is on Mandy there, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a bad bump, but at the same time, Nia gets it and literally fucking launches it, so she hasn't really got much time to do fucking anything else. So
yeah, you can actually hear her shouting, "Wait!" She threw her, but whatever.
Yeah,
Nia's got a job to do. She's not time to wait for people.
No. So I don't know, maybe a little bit on Mandy, but mostly on Nia, in my opinion. The 24/7 title, 7-man. Wow. Like the hardcore title, Anthony, we spoke about this. The hardcore title, if that was defended in a 7-man match, it would have been fucking epic. Some of the best matches I recall are just like those hardcore matches that we had where it was like a clock challenge or something, and everyone's going they were fantastic. This was shit. It was a clusterfuck.
This is the problem.
Awful.
Like, how good does this sound when I say it like this, Carl? Let's take the hardcore championship, the hardcore title, yeah? But we'll take the hardcore out of it for the PG era. Let's do that.
Okay.
How good does that sound to you?
Yeah, pretty shit. Just like this match. And like the thing is, I'm a bit of a wrestling purist, if you will. And it's still real to me, damn it. I will say it again, right? But I get invested in things. Like when I had my brief wrestling training, I remember someone saying to me, why would you lie there motionless and kick out to 2.5? You would want to look like you want to kick out at 1, right? It's like, exactly. You know what? Yep. That makes so much sense. British wrestling.
Yeah, it should be an effort.
Here makes sense, right? Yeah. In this match, literally, people took no damage, got rolled up, win.
There's nothing I can do.
Win. Rolled up, win. It's like, kick out.
Yeah, because they want that quick turnover, unfortunately.
Like at this point, they care more around probably setting a record for the most fucking that is where I think they're going with it. They're going to go with the most fucking title changes or something for any belt.
He's already mid-40s, isn't he? On title defenses or title changes now. He's already been a 40-odd time champion. It's getting fucking ridiculous, man.
Yeah, it made no sense. But I hate that when someone just rolls someone up and they can't kick out. They've had no damage. It's like, schoolboy, yeah, I'm going to sit here. And but they don't even want to kick out. They just lie there. And it pisses me off. It's lazy.
I feel like, I mean no offense when I say this, Maria Kanellis, who's clearly listening to this, but the most interesting of 24. You right there, Carl?
There's nearly whiskey all over my laptop. Sorry, go on.
The most interesting the 24/7 title ever was when Mike Bennett won it, and she insisted that he lie down and let her pin her.
I mean, if she insisted that you lie down and she pinned you.
I mean, okay, but my point is, they actually tried to put a little bit of story work in there at least, because they had the whole because he was Mike Kanellis in WWE, and they had the whole sort of
he was a cook basically. Yeah,
he was a cook, and she was just like, "I want the title," and he was like, "Okay, dear," and that was probably the most. And I didn't think it should be or would be, but I think that is genuinely the most interesting thing they did with the 24/7 title. Because everything else has just been, "Oh, Truth wins it again."
Yeah, and I think it wouldn't be remiss if I didn't call out the worst spot of the whole wrestling ever, where there was this weird little Tucker Gulak triple pin roll-up thing that happened. So not only do I not like schoolboy pins that people can't kick out of, but what makes that worse is when schoolboy pin, oh no, hang on. Now he's getting pinned. Now, okay, why? That is literally just to get multiple title changes. That is the only reason.
Rolling around.
It's like, we can chat around fucking MJF and Jericho doing a fucking dinner debonair. All this stupid shit that happens in the world of wrestling that we're like, wow. There's nothing more unbelievable to me than someone who just gets rolled up for a 3 count without any damage, and it goes, no. And
you know what's more insulting? You know what's more insulting, Carl, right? At least Dinner Debonair was meant to be a comedy skit. It was meant to be ridiculous and over the top. This is meant to be a match.
Yeah, you can't really call it that. It was something. It was a segment. Something. It was a segment. And then lastly, Anthony, my final O'Shite, Adam fucking Pearce. This guy, he's apparently the guy in charge for some reason. Who knows?
Who knows?
But he's announced Orton versus Drew McIntyre next week for the title.
Of course.
And then Randy Orton's like,
you know
do
why?
You know what?
It's a course correction because nobody wanted Drew to lose.
Well, there is that. I mean, I don't think they're going to go through with it. For me, I think they can't get The Rock and Roman at Mania, which is where they were going to go. And so I think Roman at Mania. So I think the whole stuff, spoilers, the foreshadowing that we saw at SmackDown this week is probably leading up to what we build.
I think they risk pissing a lot of people off having that back and forth at SmackDown, which we'll talk about, and then not having Drew being the one at Survivor Series. I think they're going to piss a lot of people off.
I think they do, but I think they won't have Roman lose, and I think it'll piss more people off having Drew lose to Roman. So I think Orton's going to
go over Randy.
Yeah, 100%.
Get all over Randy, and then Drew's going to come out.
Well, I mean, there's nothing more sure in the wrestling business than Roman going over Randy at this point. I think Drew will get involved, and I think it'll be Drew that costs Randy, whatever. But yeah, Roman's going over, 100%. But yeah,
that's the only way they can sort of save it if they have Drew involved in the match.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
I'm like expecting him to lose the title at Raw. No, win the title at Raw. Who am I talking about? Who knows?
24/7 title? Someone's winning.
That one, yeah. I'm expecting R-Truth to go up against Randy Orton.
Again? Oh, shit.
Maybe.
But yeah, so, yeah, for me, like, Adam Pearce is meant to be this guy who's like, I'm now in charge, but I'm not an in-your-face authority figure. Okay, I don't like it, but I can buy it, whatever. And then Orton comes out, he's all pissed, and then, Pearce is like, well, I'm just a messenger. So, who are you then? Because...
Who are you?
Like, I thought you were the fucking authority. Like, who are you? If you're the messenger, who is it? Hornswoggle? Is it still Hornswoggle?
Has
it not changed? Has it
still there?
It's like, are we going to have Michael Cole being like, "Oh, sorry, I have your attention, please"? Like, is it like I don't get what's changed. I don't get it.
You've convinced me. Next week's segment is going to be the absolute worst payoffs in WWE storylines.
Okay,
because that was one of them.
That was definitely one of them. I'll take that. Let's do that.
Let's do that. Guys, remind us because we're going to forget. Just let us know. That's our segment for next week.
So, Anthony, that was Raw. And I'm actually going to rate it higher than last week. I am.
Really?
Yeah, and that's because last week got a 0.5 and this is getting a fucking 1 because it was still shit. But yeah, it wasn't as shit as last week, to be fair.
I'm totally on giving you that 1. I totally agree.
I'm so disappointed because I was so excited. Like you mentioned before that, Rollins stole all the good stuff from SmackDown, brought it to Raw, left Dante.
I did mention
all
that
upset and whatever
once or twice.
But, yeah. But at the same time, I was happy at one point, and now they've already turned it back shit again. So yeah, I'm not happy anymore. So that was Raw, Anthony, and we've got. I'm going to look at it. We've got 25 minutes. Can you cover NXT in 25 minutes?
I can cover NXT in 10, but I think we need to stop at NXT.
I agree.
Cut onto Whiskey and Wrestling and do the other.
So, just for anyone listening at this point who's going to stay for the whole show, so you're going to get Raw, somewhat okay. You're going to get NXT, somewhat okay. Whiskey and Wrestling's going to happen. And then Dynamite and SmackDown, you probably won't be able to fucking understand us, but...
Sorry about that. I mean, we've had complaints that you can't understand us anyway.
That is true.
After Whiskey and Wrestling, probably not.
Don't even get me started on complaints, fucking Apple Podcast Review guy.
Podcast Review guy.
Anyway.
Who just decided to ignore the first... Anyway, sorry. Anyway. let's talk about NXT, right?
Let's talk about it.
So as far as the card goes, Carl, we saw Johnny Gargano going up against Leo Ruff. Going up against Leon Ruff for the North American title, with Leon Ruff taking the win.
What?
We saw Santos Escobar taking on Atlas for the Cruiserweight title, with Santos Escobar taking the win. We saw a promo, I think, with Xia Li, Boa, and Raquel Gonzalez. We saw Candice LeRae.
Who the fuck is Boa?
Boa. He's the guy who keeps handing a post. He's the postman. The postman, okay. Boa.
Postman Boa. And his black and white cat.
Mm-hmm. We saw Candice LeRae going up against Toni Storm, with Candice LeRae taking the win. We saw Dexter Lumis going up against Tim Thatcher, with Tim Thatcher taking the win. We saw Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch taking on Breezango for the tag titles, with Burch and Lorcan taking the win. And that's the card. So as far as highlights go, Carl, I'm going to give it its credit. Right? The tag match and all included shenanigans. McAff being the biggest fucking heel in the world, helping them win. We saw Pete Dunne knocking the fuck out of Drake Maverick, who wants a bit of revenge for his tag team partner. We saw Breezango coming out with a more serious tone to them because the situation merited. Perfect. That's exactly how they should be. Be goofballs when it's time to be goofballs. Right? Everything worked for me. Fully enjoyed the main event tag match. Really enjoyable. What did you think, Al?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was fine.
Cool.
It was fine.
So, another one, and I don't know if you're going to agree with me on this. Gargano's upset loss, I actually quite liked. I don't know, the way Gargano's playing his character at the minute, the way he deliberately picked Ruff with his clearly corrupted wheel to be his opponent and expected to win. The only thing I'm not enamored about was the suggestion that they might be keeping a feud between him and Priest going. I don't need that. Was a really good match. I don't need to see another one. It's not going to compare. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, because Priest was there to give the distraction in the audience, it kind of suggests there might be something. That's the only downside to it. Otherwise, I actually really don't mind this. I'm a bit struggling to see where they're going to go with Ruff being the North American title holder.
No, I think for me, it was the surprise factor. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't expect it.
All right. Well, I think that's how it played because
I get caught off guard.
And Gargano was very cocky about it, so it worked because he was just as shocked as us, and the whole thing worked for me. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
And dare I say it, Carl, my last highlight is actually Escobar going up against Atlas. And that's just purely because it was a much better match than I gave it credit for. I didn't want to see them. Didn't want to see the match. Weren't bothered about it. But the quality of the match, to be fair to them, they have really good chemistry together in the ring. Can't deny that. You know, overall, I'm not bothered about it. Was Escobar taking the win the right decision? Yeah. But, you know, I got to give it credit where credit's due because I wasn't expecting this to be enjoyable at all. And it was a much better match than I thought it would be. So as far as the O'Shites go, Carl, we're rolling through it, man. Loomis and Thatcher. Now, this needs a little bit of moaning about, I'm afraid. I was enjoying this match. I was all for this match. Loomis going... I even said last week, I don't know what they're going to do with Thatcher. He's fucking useless now. I'm not liking the Thatch can segments. And then they put him up against Dexter Loomis, two hard-hitting fucking big men. And I'm like, okay, this could work. And we had a really good match for a little bit. And then what happens? Fucking Cameron Grimes happens. That's what happens. So we see Tim Thatcher taking the win due to shenanigans. And what are we doing? We're going to keep a feud going between Cameron Grimes and Dexter Loomis. Why? Who knows? What
no
was this,
idea.
Carl?
No idea. I mean, for me, anytime...
The most disappointing end to a fucking match.
Anytime Dexter Loomis loses, I'm obviously very upset. So... didn't make any sense.
Thing is, guys, we want to see a feud between him and Tim Thatcher. That would make both of them really quite well. It'd make Tim actually relevant for a while, but
I mean, Tim has been relevant since the fucking thing with Riddle, has he? So
Riddle took Tim's career with him. Fucking hell. But this feud would have worked for me, and instead you're going to try and have Cameron Grimes involved again. Like, some people love Cameron Grimes; they think he's really funny and stuff. But I'm not over on his character, and he just doesn't stack up stature or skill-wise to Dexter Loomis. So why would I want to watch this? Maybe because we'll get an actual match. That's the only way I can see it being workable. Didn't really get a match in the Halloween Havoc stuff. So,
yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think that is probably the reason. Like, because
so they can have an actual wrestling match.
Yeah, I don't even know if circumstances dictated why they had to have that weird little Halloween match, or whether it was just like a decision. But I think maybe they want to see them have a in-ring contest or something. But yeah, I'm not digging any of it.
Nah. So, as far as other O'Shites go, Carl, I found this one, it's not a major O'Shite, but it's a bit weird that they kind of revealed Indy Hartwell as the masked person helping out Candice LeRae, Johnny Gargano. It's like, did you guys forget that we knew fully well who it was before Halloween Havoc?
But we
I know she come out wearing a screen
know.
mask, but she gave them a new TV. She made it very clear that she was helping out Candice LeRae in the Battle Royal. Who else was it going to be? Why are you acting like it's a reveal, a surprise? We all knew. Everyone knew. I mean, maybe Candice LeRae didn't know, but I knew. Anyway, that was weird. And again, like, I might just be shitting on something that's not even built properly yet, but this whole stuff with Xia Li, like, I don't think they're giving us enough. I feel like it's playing too slow and too subtle for me to even care, and I think it's going to fall flat. Like, ooh, Boa handed her another letter and there was an old man involved or something or whatever. Like, and they cancelled the match between her and Raquel. Yeah, Raquel Gonzalez. I'm like, I don't get it, but you're not giving me enough to understand it, so I'm kind of checked out on this. Now, I want your opinion on this, Carl, because I know you're a big sucker for the mystery. Do you care about the mystery letters?
No.
No. Is that because there's absolutely no clues to work with?
I mean, it's because I just don't care. Like, it's something which I think doesn't need to happen. It doesn't need to shape part of the show. So they can be as like mysterious as they want. I'm not gonna buy into it because I just don't care. They've not made me care about it at all.
Yeah, and that's the problem. And I think it is going to fall flat for that reason, whatever the reveal is. And that's me, O'Shites. As far as a rating goes, Carl, I'm actually going to give it a 3. I think the match quality was actually quite good. Some stuff didn't land, but overall, a decent week for NXT. I'm on board. I'm happy.
Wow. Okay. I think for me, I don't know whether it's because it's not my job.
It's not my Wednesday night show.
Not my Wednesday night show. But for me, it's a 2 because I just didn't really care about that much of it. Like, I thought, the shock factor of Gargano was definitely, like, holy shit. That was the best thing about the whole show for me. It's just the fact that I was so surprised by it, and it just kind of caught me off guard. But the rest of it was just very meh. Like, the stuff we mentioned, like Dexter and Thatcher and all that kind of stuff with Priest and everything like happening. I don't know. For me, it just wasn't that good. So I think a 2 is definitely fair.
Yeah. Okay. I can understand. I probably enjoyed the match quality a bit more, which is what made me go for the 3. But yeah, I can totally get where you're coming from. Nice. So we'll be back covering AEW's Dynamite, the Alright Wednesday show, and Friday Night SmackDown after this break. So, Carl, let's talk about AEW's Dynamite, shall we?
So, once again, the superior Wednesday show consisted of a card of Brian Cage taking on Matt Sydal. The definitely didn't botch that entrance in the Battle Royal.
No. Never happened.
Nope. With Cage picking up the win. And then we had Cozy.
Cozy.
I sneezed. It's fine.
I'm not even going to edit it out. People are going to know you sneezed.
No. I was like trying my best. Cozy addresses his TNT title loss. We have a bunkhouse match, Anthony. The first bunkhouse match since the Dusty Rhodes era. And it consists of the Nightmare Family taking on Butcher and the Blade. With
the Nightmare Family win.
Picked up to win, surprisingly. Yeah. How did you call that? Crazy. We had MJF inducted into the Inner Circle. Finally. Surely there'll be no problems with that.
Never. They will all gel cohesively.
cohesively. We had Scorpio Sky taking on Sean Spears for some reason, with Sean Spears picking up the win for some reason. We had Red Velvet taking on Tay Conti, with Tay Conti picking up the win. And the main event of the evening was a rematch of grand proportion. We had Penta taking on Phoenix 2, with Penta picking up the win. So, highlights, which is pretty much most of the show. We had... So, the Cage Seidel match was pretty good, to be fair. I thought it was really good.
Actually, dare say it was almost a... Not a redemption's probably not the right word, but it made up for the botch debut, let's say.
Defo. I think when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, this isn't going to be that good, to be fair, because...
It felt a little bit mismatched in some senses, but...
Yeah, and I think, like, realistically, we forget how athletic Cage is, and Seidel...
Yeah, it's easy done.
Yeah, and, you know, Seidel's obviously a fantastic worker, but this match itself really kind of came home, so... load of reversals, load of like end-to-end stuff, and you know, quite a lot of close calls as well. There was times where I was like, "Holy shit, Seidel is going to win this thing," but he did not, surprisingly. So, you know, great contest. I thought Taz obviously was on commentary throughout the whole thing as well. I thought he did a really good job, despite what he did earlier in the night, which we will come on to in the Oshites. But on commentary, he was good, and I'm going to give him the highest compliment I can possibly give, which is he reminded me a little bit of Bobby Heenan on commentary.
Okay.
And I fucking love Bobby Heenan. So
I can't remember what segment it was, but I remember one of our unique segments you alluded to Bobby Heenan on commentary.
Yeah, Bobby is the greatest commentator of all time. I love him. He is fantastic. There's so many of my favorite matches he called, and he added so much more to that match than, you know, anything could possibly add, really. So for me, to say Taz reminded me of Bobby Heenan is a massive thing. So I'm going to shit on him in a bit, but at the same time, I thought he was fantastic on commentary. I think the way he reacted to Cage almost losing and like, come on, kick out, it just reminded me so much of Bobby. So.
Well, there you are, Taz. We both love and hate you.
we love to hate you, Taz. We love to hate you. Next, we had a Cody Rhodes promo. And I'm a big fan of Cody Rhodes promos. But yeah, I don't know, this one. So, you know, it's still a highlight, so I'm not going to shit on it. But he basically was like, I want to congratulate Darby Allin because no one's congratulated Darby Allin. I'm like, you pretty much bent over and gave me your ass last week. But, you know.
Like, we're not, that's the thing. Are we forgetting the fact that you got down on one knee?
Forget that. You know, no one has congratulated him apparently, so he's going to take the opportunity to do so. And then who comes out? Is it Brody Lee? Is it, you know, anyone? No, it's Jade Cargill.
Yeah, and I don't mean to, I feel like I'm being dismissive of it. Like, she seems like she's going to be a really good addition to the women's roster. Her placement in coming out to give Cody shit seems a bit odd.
Well, yeah. I was like, who is this bitch? And then she showed up, and you know what? She was quite good. I think, you know, unfairly, she's taken quite a bit of slack on the internet around her promo. People say, you know, they shouldn't have done that. It was too soon, and she wasn't very good. Blah blah blah.
Honestly, I've seen people moaning about the fact that Brandy used the term ratchet. It's like,
I mean, people like to moan, but no, I thought her promo was pretty good. Came out, kind of emasculated Cody, and almost built towards Cody taking on some sort of giant or someone who is, you know, at least bigger than him anyway. And she kind of alluded to...
Giant Gonzalez, isn't it?
Well, it could be. But she kind of alluded to the fact it was going to be Shaq. And obviously you're a big Shaq fan, being a Miami Heat fan and all. But
he betrayed us. He betrayed us and left. Fuck that guy.
I mean, he was Lakers before he was Miami anyway. And he was Orlando before he was Lakers.
In the grand scheme, I know I was hyped at the time. I even got the O'Neal jersey. But in the grand scheme, he didn't add much to Miami. No offense, Shaq. But let's be honest. Let's be honest about these things. Where did he go after that? Detroit? Did he go to Detroit? I feel like he joined the Pistons for a while.
I don't know.
I feel like I might be wrong on that too.
Maybe. I don't really know.
I don't know.
I stopped caring about him at that point.
Yeah,
I didn't really care about him like much anyway.
me too.
But either way. So Jade Cargill is alluding to Shaq taking on Cody Rhodes, but
I would sooner
all over Cody.
I would sooner see Cody Jade, to be honest.
Well, yeah. But basically, she shits all over Cody, and who comes out is sassy Brandy, and I fucking loved her.
You gotta like Brandy with a bit of sass on you.
Like Brandy, I'm a massive fan of her YouTube show, A Shot of Brandy, and that kind of stuff. I think she's fantastic. She's so, I don't know, she's just sound, and I just think I would love to just
Carl going full scout. She's just
fucking boss, lad. No, she is sound, and I would love if she brought me on a show, Brandy. I would love to have a shot of Brandy with you, but no, I think
neither of us can cook for shit, but we'll try.
Whoa! I'm a chef. I make a carbonara. It is a carbonara, but it's carbonara.
Well, there you go. That's the shot of Brandy right there.
Italian way, no cream, just eggs, just the guanciale, the pancetta.
You do a carbonara with a shot of
the famous
grouse.
All them things. But yeah, so I think Brandy's boss, and I think she came out and she cut a promo that was probably one of the best promos she's ever given. I think
almost impassioned, I dare say.
Almost it felt a little bit forced. So please forgive me, but at the same time, it didn't take away from the fact that it was awesome. She was like, I don't know. I don't want to.
Let's be honest.
I don't want to impersonate. I was so close to impersonating it. I was like, I probably shouldn't.
Don't.
Please don't.
Keep the show going.
Please don't. But it was fucking good. Yeah.
Here's the thing. What people are not giving it credit for is they've simultaneously booked a potential match between Shaq for some reason and Cody, which whatever. But they're building up potentially, and I hope they're building up a feud between this Jade Cargill and Brandy, which I'm in for. Yeah, let's watch that.
I'm going in. As she would say.
It's like, that's because what does AEW need help with? The women's roster. So what do we need to build feuds up for? The women's roster.
Yeah.
And then Cody's going to fight a giant guy.
Cody's going to fight a girl, and I do nothing for the women's roster. But yeah, so that I thought was good. We had the bunkhouse match. And do you know what? It was fucking brutal, man. It was so good. Action-packed. Like the bunny character that we've been missing for so long. She's been like TJ's bitch, hasn't she? She was fantastic.
I still think she went by the name Ali, if I'm honest. But...
And I keep doing this. I keep calling him TJ, but it's QT. It is QT. Who is TJ?
TJ Perkins?
Yeah, maybe. TJ Perkins, QT, Marshall, same thing.
They're like interchangeable.
Yeah, pretty much. But obviously she's been QT's bitch for a while. But yeah, Ali is fantastic as this heel psycho, like crazy bitch. And, it came through in this match.
I'm still not sure what the whole decision process was for removing her from them, but I like the AEW for at least going, that's not working, let's fix that.
Well, yeah. The only downside is they've done that quite a bit. And it's kind of related to most of Brandy Rhodes' feuds. So
yeah, but it's better than WWE going, no, we're going to stick with the 7-month program we've got on this awful thing.
Yeah, there is that. But no, I think it was a wise decision. She was involved, an absolute psychopath, as I love. And she was like cutting open fucking QT's forehead with a screwdriver or something. Yeah, it was good. She was a psycho, and I loved it. Every single bit of it. But yeah, I don't know. I think there was a segment that took place. And
there was a segment that took place. I will totally agree with you on that.
There was one of them.
You made me those of you wondering, we have hit 1 a.m.
We have hit 1 a.m. We are post whiskey and wrestling. It's a terrible.
We are post whiskey. We are full of whiskey.
We love Tony, but he fucking chats on. Right. So
That was a much longer conversation than we thought we got.
It was.
But much
30
appreciated
minutes,
in every
he said.
sense.
An hour and 30 minutes is what we got. But no, I think
Nice.
I think Ali was fantastic, and I think it might be the same spot I was talking about before. To be fair, there was a point in the match. It probably was Ali where she got.
I'm just trying to bet you on again.
And they and they tried to basically cut open QT's head with something. People were like, "It's spares." Was it cowboys? And other people were like, "No, it's scissors." We don't really know, but yeah, I thought basically,
I guess it will remain a mystery.
Ali is good. It will remain a mystery. MJF, I thought his induction to the Inner Circle was good. People have shat over this, saying it was quite weak. I thought it was quite good. It's been he was like, it's been a long and hard 5 years in the business. 5 years. He took a small loan of $1 million from his parents, and he's had to survive.
I could be wrong, and any angry American might want to correct me on this, but I feel like this promo was a direct shot at Trump, who, with a small loan from his dad, became a millionaire. The small loan being in the millions.
Not. We've seen no politic-related things in WWE.
But very in keeping with MJF's character for me, to be honest.
Yeah. No, I thought it was awesome. It was just like, we've done all this, done all that. He's been building up this moment. He's had the pressure of being a ratings ruler at such a young age. He will not give up on the fact that ratings ruler is shit. And it's good that he carries on doing it. And then he ended up writing some poetry, which ended up being him stealing lyrics from Drake. So fair play. And then, I don't know, I think the final kind of icing on the cake was the whole thing with him and Sammy. We saw it a couple of weeks ago. We saw it quite a lot, to be fair. But he basically didn't invite Sammy to the show. And he was like, I sent you an email. And Sam was like, I got the email. You said to be at the beach. She was like, no, I sent you an other email. It's like, I didn't get the email. And it was just like, you can see the dynamics building up towards MJF versus Sammy in the short term.
Yeah,
I think that's
I can live with that. That's good.
See.
They're both.
I want to see it.
I mean, we saw that match kind of anyway, and the athleticism out of both was awesome.
Yeah, true that. Tay Conti showed up in a match against Red Velvet. Yeah. It was good. Do you know what? I thought it was really solid. And I think, we've spoken quite a bit at length around the AEW women division. And I thought, for two young up-and-comers, I thought they put on a fantastic show, really.
I mean, to be honest, the more I see of Tay Conti, I'm like, WWE really missed the mark here, dropping it.
The more you see of Tay Conti. Interesting.
Exactly.
That's t-shirt.
They missed the mark, didn't they? Let's be honest. She's very talented. And why they let her go, I don't know. But an AEW gain, she's actually going to be, I'll say it now, Carl, she's going to be a staple of the women's roster for AEW in years to come.
Well, she absolutely has the toolkit to do that. I think.
Yeah, that's one way.
Interestingly, she's got a weird sort of dynamic at the minute where she's not in the Dark Order, but Anna Jay is being the Dark Order, and it's not really happening, and they're not really on the same page. So, yeah, I don't really know.
Half in there,
yeah. I'm going half in. Would be the show. And then the final highlight, Anthony, is the main event, and it was Penta Phoenix 2. Penta Phoenix 2. And as per the first show that we saw, these guys are fucking brilliant. They are so good.
The technical ability in the ring is awesome.
It's
not going to be an uninteresting match, is it? Let's be honest.
It's a wrestling clinic.
It is a clinic.
A clinic. They are two brothers who know each other inside out. They know the wrestling business inside out. They've been active on the scene for years. And just like we saw in the first match that they had, this was fantastic. This time, Penta picked the win, which was different to the first one. Obviously, Phoenix picked up the win in the original, but couldn't defend due to an injury. So it was nice to see Penta pick up the win in this one. And then after the match, Kingston came out, who was on commentary, and tried to convince Penta that, he doesn't need Phoenix anymore, and it's him and Kingston, blah, blah, blah. Serious heel tactics. And who comes out? It's Pac. makes his return and tries to be like a bit upset about the fact that he wanted to have Death Triangle and it didn't happen, and now he kind of wants it back again.
So the question is it Pac to the future?
I love it. I love it. And then the only two O'Shites of the evening, Anthony. So the Taz promo. I mentioned it before. I think on commentary he was fantastic. Very, I can't give him any higher praise really. I thought he was amazing on commentary.
You likened him to Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Well, exactly. But the actual opening promo that he did, I don't know. He spent more time hyping up Matt Sydal than he did actually hyping up Cage or, Starks or anyone on Team Taz. So it felt a bit weird. And I don't know. I think he tried to allude to Darby Cody and that kind of stuff. And it was, I don't know, it felt a bit flat. It just didn't really land in terms of the opening promo. But yeah, on commentary, he was great. So I don't really want to take away from him too much, but I can't, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention it as a O'Shite because it was bad. And the final O'Shite, the second and only O'Shite, is we had a post Cody Rhodes promo, which is a bit annoying to be honest. So basically, Cody and Darby are now going to team up, even though they just fought each other and blah blah blah. They've got so much respect. They're going to team up and take on the greater evil of Team Taz. And it's minor things, and I've spoken about this quite a bit, but the fact that they played Darby's music, and if he came up from the back and he was like, you know what, I'm going out and play my music sound, he was coming down from the audience and it was just his music played, and it felt.
I think you've not specifically about Darby, I think you've had complaints about that before, haven't you? Where it's why did the music play? Doesn't make any sense. I think it was Drew McIntyre that you last complained about this about.
It's not just AEW. It's when it doesn't make sense for music to play.
Exactly.
It's fine for someone to come out and just get involved. You don't have to do the whole, we're going to play the music so you know who you are. We know who they are without the music sometimes. So, but anyway. And then obviously after the whole shenanigans, Will Hobbs came out for no reason really. He came out with a chair again and slammed the chair down a few times, and it's well, what are you really doing? It made sense when Lance Archer was part of Team Taz momentarily. Now that he's not anymore, what is Will Hobbs doing? Because it doesn't make any sense. So
where's Lance?
Who knows? Who knows?
Okay, at least we know that.
He's away.
I'm reassured in the fact that we know we don't know. That's good.
I know that you don't know that I don't know. So
they don't know that we know they know.
But I don't know that you don't know. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was the show. And for me, there's only two.
Whoa.
What?
Before we get on to anything further, any ratings, shites, should we talk about Tony Khan making some very bold statements before Dynamite that made people maybe overhyped for Dynamite, saying that this was going to change the landscape of wrestling, and in actual fact, it ended up being Pac returning. Should we mention this?
Well, why would we talk about that? Because it, acts unfavorably to my favorite show.
Okay. Never happened. Let's crack on.
So I believe, Anthony, they actually plan to have Okada or someone from any.
This is why I wanted to mention it, because I've heard that they had something planned that was much bigger, and it never panned out, so it ended up being Pac. Now, Pac was always going to return, obviously, but...
To be fair. But I think, you know what, Tony Khan's done this a few times. He's gone out and said, this, that, the other, and it's not happened. And, Tony is a fantastic promoter. He's been amazing.
Yeah, considering he's not really got any experience in the business, he's just got a passion for the business. He's doing really well.
Yeah, he is putting on one of the best shows out there at the minute. But, it's a couple of times now he's been you don't want to miss this, and nothing happens, and it's so maybe he needs to learn from his own kind of mistakes.
Maybe.
And just wait until something's actually happening before
wait
he
till
posts.
in the building, Khan.
Yeah. But still, it was a good show. There was only one or two minor things that were all shite, and I didn't really see the whole Tony tweet thing, whatever, until after I'd watched the show. So it didn't really.
I'm the same.
back me
I
that much.
thought it worth mentioning for the discussion's sake. It never tainted my view of Dynamite because I never saw it.
Tainted view.
Oh.
So for me, it gets a 3.5 out of 5. I thought it was solid, good show, good matches. One or two little things that I didn't like, but all in all, good, solid show.
Yes, totally agree. Totally agree. I'm a 3 on point. Yeah, 3.5.
3 on point.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm on a 3.5 as well.
Yeah.
It was slightly better than NXT. I gave NXT a 3. I know you didn't do it as favorably as I did,
NXT
but
shit.
Whatever. NXT got a 3. This gets a 3.5 because it was slightly better.
It was.
And
right.
to be honest, your O'Shites echo my O'Shites. I have no more to add in that sense. I just think overall it was a really good show.
Nice.
It wasn't the best they've had, but a lot better than they've been. You know what? When you consider the last 2 weeks, they've not been as on par. I think this is a return to form in a lot of senses.
So, Anthony, bring us home as we chat about the final show, which is SmackDown.
Yeah, all right.
Okay. Why not?
Now, as far as SmackDown goes, and I'll even sit up for this. You ready? Here we go.
Oh, don't do that. I can't move.
So as far as the card goes, Carl, we open with a Drew / Roman promo, surprisingly. I mean, we'll talk a bit more on that, but Drew McIntyre rocks up. That's a plus. Then, first match of the night, we have Apollo Crews going up against Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental title, with Sami Zayn taking the win.
Mm-hmm.
We have I'm going to call it a segment because it wasn't really a promo, but we have Sasha coming to the ring to be attacked by Carmella with involvement of Bayley. So I'm going to call it a segment. We had that happen. We had Otis going up against Dolph Ziggler because fuck it, why not? With Otis taking the win. We had Rey Mysterio going up against Seth Rollins for allegedly the final time, with Rey Mysterio taking the win. We had the night closing out with a fatal 4-way match between Liv Morgan, Tamina Snuka, Natalya Neidhart, and Chelsea Green, with Liv Morgan taking the win. There you go. And that was the card. Now, as far as the highlights go, Carl, and I seem to be doing this every week now, but Roman Reigns promo, ace, fantastic, everything I wanted and more. And obviously we had the inclusion of Drew McIntyre. The only bit that scares me with this, and I'm going to call it a highlight still, because I thought the promo was great. The sort of history, if you will, was great. This potential rivalry going forward is great, but this is all kind of hinged on, and I think you touched on it before when we talked about Raw, but this is all kind of hinged on, Drew being the title holder down the line. And I'm a little bit worried about this because for me, I need Drew to win this coming week on Raw for this to work. Now, otherwise, I think it might piss the fans off a little bit because we've already started building up a feud that we can't have just yet. I don't know how you feel about that, Carl, but I was all for it, but it kind of has that slight sour to it because I'm like, well, he's not the champion yet,
Yeah, I think for me, it's like long-term planning. I don't think we will see Roman Drew at Survivor Series. I think we might see it at WrestleMania.
I hope so.
Like, don't get me wrong, it's something I want to see, definitely. I think probably they plan to have The Rock versus Roman at Hollywood.
Yeah.
But that won't happen now due to circumstances. So I think they're trying to set the scene early to get Drew and Roman.
It's a nice little dip your toe in the water kind of thing for them as well, because they saw how well that was received. So they know that people want this match as well.
Definitely.
Yeah. That's right. I'm going to let you sit in the awkward silence, Carl. That's what I'm going to do.
I mean, I was on mute. I was like, yeah, oh shit. No, yeah.
You can mute people.
Apparently, in the internet.
So, as far as the next highlight goes, Carl, and it might surprise you, it was Apollo versus Sami Zayn. Because I was ready to hate this match because I thought what they were doing was going Sami Zayn versus Bobby Lashley. That's unrealistic. Let's put Apollo in the championship scene, and then they can have that match in Survivor Series. And I was ready to be really fucking annoyed with this, but then Sami pulled it out of the bag, and they played it in a way that kind of complements his match going to Bobby, because you go, okay, so he managed to play the smart role rather than he's not got the brute force against Apollo either, so he played it cleverly and won. So then you end up almost, it helps the match for Survivor Series because you go, well, could he pick up the win? You know, could he outsmart Bobby? Bobby smash, but Bobby not think very much. You know? So I don't know how you feel about that match, Carl, but I was actually on for it. The minute Sami won and the way it was executed, I was like, yeah, this works for me.
I'm not a massive Sami fan. I'm going to throw it out there. I think, I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm not a big fan, to be fair. Solid.
Okay.
Solid.
Fine. Well, fuck you.
Wow.
Anyway. Harsh. Anyway, next highlights for me, Carl, and you've got to agree with this one, surely, is Liv Morgan taking the win in the Fatal 4-Way match and becoming the next member of the Survivor Series team for SmackDown. Because Liv has had a really weird year when it comes to her booking, because she's gone on a solo career and then not, and then reunited with the Riot Squad and then kind of not. And now they're kind of back together but doing their own thing, and now they're kind of both in the Survivor Series team. So who knows what's happening? But Liv getting a incredible win in a Fatal 4-Way match. Why the fuck not? Yeah. And that,
except for the fact.
Oh, go on.
Well, I mean, obviously they introduced Chelsea Green to the show.
Of course. Sorry, we did talk about it on the news, but we can't gloss over that fact that it was a disappointing kind of result in some senses because of that and because of the subsequent injuries. It kind of sours the whole match, I suppose, in some senses.
Like, for me, the result wasn't disappointing. It was the fact that they introduced Chelsea at a point where, like, if she didn't get injured, what was going to happen? Was Chelsea going to win? In which case, what happens to Liv? Like,
Yeah.
You know, I'm a bit of a Liv Morgan mark, as you probably know, because I mention it quite often.
You have mentioned her once or twice.
But, like, I just don't get it, because I feel like she could be, like, for me, Liv Alexa is the feud, just like Charlotte. What's her name? Charlotte
Blair?
Sassy, friend of the show.
Lacey Evans.
Lacey.
Sassy.
So edit all that out.
No.
So shut up. Right. So Liv versus Lexa is a money feud, just like Lacey Evans versus Charlotte is a money feud, and neither of them seem to be getting the recognition they deserve. So
sadly,
if Chelsea hadn't got injured, would she have taken Liv out of the match? I think she would have.
I still truly believe she wouldn't have, but I take your points.
But I don't understand why you would introduce someone to a show as like a new acquisition and have her lose.
Because you're WWE, damn it. Because
I don't know.
Natty's going to take the loss, no one else. Natty likes losses. She takes them all the time.
I mean, there is that. But I don't know. I think they probably wouldn't have done Liv, which doesn't sit well with me, to be fair.
You prefer if WWE do Liv?
I mean, I would like to do Liv. For the no, wait, hang on. Wait, that's not what I mean. I mean, I would like
execute
Liv to do well.
Yes, that was it.
Yeah.
Okay. So as far as highlights go, that was me last one. And okay, I take your point on some of the reservations you had there, but Liv taking the win, I think, is a good thing for her as a character, so that works for me. Let's move on to the O'Shites, shall we?
Shall we?
And I'm going to talk about the main one, let's say, and that is firstly the botched 619 from Rey Mysterio. It's funny because I talked about his loss of eye should technically be affecting that, but there you go. Anyway, so he botched the 619. That was slightly funny. But what's worse is the fact that he ultimately won the Rey Mysterio. No, He did win the Rey Mysterio match, I suppose, but he won the match against Rollins. And then not so much against the match. That worked all right. And you know what? If this is going to end the extremely long fucking feud they've had, then fine. It's the fact that it's like, he's like, yeah, cool. Yeah, you're part of the family now, Murphy. I totally accept you. You carry on with Aaliyah. You do what you want to do. It's like, why? Because he helped you beat Seth? Like, you're going to give away your daughter for that? Wow. So that was weird.
Finally, you've proven yourself. Shag my daughter in a live sex show.
Why not? Edge did it.
I mean,
so so that was. I'm like, okay, that was a really very quick and very easy acceptance. He should have just helped them out a long time ago, and it would have done and dusted a lot sooner. But there you go. So yeah, overall, once again, not too thrilled with the way the book and Rey Mysterio and Seth and all of that bollocks.
Mm-hmm.
My next one, Carl, is the fact that we had Otis versus Ziggler again. And not only that, we had Bobby Roode looking like a little bitch. This match did nothing for nobody. It made Bobby Roode look weak. It made Ziggler look weak. It made Otis look, well, like Otis. But we've seen this match a lot before because that's, people. This is again WWE probably thinking that we're all goldfish. Like, Ziggler and Roode got traded to Raw when it wasn't even the draft. They just got traded there randomly whenever. But before that, they were heavily involved in the Otis stuff. And we're meant to just forget that, and we're just going to return to form. You move them back over to SmackDown, and Otis feuds with the only two people on SmackDown that he's been feuding with for fucking years. There's plenty of other people to pick. Anyway, kind of annoyed me. Yeah. So, let's talk about the Sasha Banks segment, Carl. The fuck was that?
Yeah.
Like, do you ever just wonder whether WWE kind of just book things because they think, that'll get us some viewers? Like Sasha Banks, yeah, she's recently been in The Mandalorian. That's really popular. So we definitely want to have her on TV. And like, we haven't wrote anything for that. That's fine. Just send her out to the ring. It's all good. Like, because what did this serve? What did this do at all? Okay, you could argue Carmella came in and attacked her, but she did that last week, so that didn't really achieve much. So what have we achieved here? Fuck all. Totally pointless segments with nothing to add to anything. How do you feel, Carl?
I mean, I don't know. I think Carmella is something different.
Is she?
Well, it's not Bailey, so it's different.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll give you that.
I think, is she legit going to win? Probably not. But I don't know. I don't mind it. I think the whole, like the fact that Bailey was involved again and stuff, though, was a bit, okay, we're done. We are done with this. But Carmella, I think, fair play. I'm glad to see her back. Hopefully she can hang this time.
With any luck, she can hang.
She can hang.
Thing is, like, now she's come back and she's untouchable. So, like, I don't know. She's going to John Cena the fuck out of the women's division, I guess.
She will see in our meme if you choose to watch us.
Weird life. Anyway, my last shite is one that you probably saw coming, Carl. Natty, again. How is this woman not qualified for the Survivor Series team when she's been in every fucking qualifier?
Because she should.
But how have they involved her in every qualifier? How is it like every single match they've booked has gone like, well, yeah, and Natty, obviously. Like this main event could have been a triple threat. It didn't need Natty. She's already lost twice. Why did she need to lose a third time? This is ridiculous. This is almost as bad as Lana getting put through a table 7 times. Maybe not.
I don't think you're understanding. Because she should.
We want her on the show, Carl. I'm going to edit that bit out. Definitely.
Yes, we definitely do. What?
I'd have Natty on the show.
Yes, we do.
You'd have Natty on the show. You know you would.
I mean, I would have Natty.
It'd be to be a half.
A lot of things, but the show. No, obviously I would. Yeah. jokes aside, I think Natty is, fantastic. She's a women's legend, a Hart Dynasty.
I feel kind of bad for her, though, because she seems to have moved into this veteran, let's put people over kind of role when she's never really hit her peak as a wrestler, if you know what I mean. So, like, she's never been massive, but now she's expected to put people like Chelsea Green over. No offense to Chelsea Green. It's just like a role kind of evolved without her ever hitting the big time.
Or was she? Or did Chelsea intend to get injured?
What? Conspiracies. So that was my last O'Shea, Carl. I just, like, no offense to Natty, but, like, did she need to be in this match? Not really.
No.
Yeah. So for me, Carl, this was firmly a 2. There were some good matches there. The promo between Roman and Drew was really good, and some of the stuff they're building up is great. Some of the matches were just totally pointless, and some of the promos were just totally pointless. So I'm going to give it a 2. Yeah.
Well, as with anything, Anthony, that you score, I have to go lower. It is just tradition at this point, and therefore I will give this show
call you old half a point, Carl. Oh, saw that coming.
Oh, 1.5. I don't know. There was some decent bits. Like, I like the fact that Drew was on the show. I like the whole thing with him and Roman. But all in all, yeah, it wasn't great. I can't even give it a 2. Like, to be honest, probably most of the 1.5 was Roman Drew. So
Roman Drew. So that was This Week in Wrestling.
Hey, everybody. This is Thunder Rosa, and you're watching or listening A to the K.